This is Doug with Rescue Haiti's Children. I'm standing here at the epicenter of the Great Haitian Earthquake. This is Palace National. This is where the Haitian capital was. It is totally destroyed, along with the lives of many that were inside the building. 80% of the Haitian government is gone today, but the remaining 20% are left with some very important decisions. What's going to happen to the children? Now, before the earthquake, there were tens of thousands, in fact hundreds of thousands of children that were believed to be orphans. That number has only increased by magnitude as a result of the earthquake. And with these children wandering in the streets, looking for homes, showing up at the homes of orphanages and just saying, "Take me," because they have no more mothers and fathers, there is a need for adoptions to take place. And the question is, will the Haitian government break through the red tape, open up the doors, and let these children come into the loving arms of American families? Well, we saw some great signs. We saw some opportunities, but then something happened. The United Nations stepped in through its organization UNICEF. Now, UNICEF is an international purveyor of abortion and birth control and has worked at destroying children through its abortion policy for many, many years now. Now it seeks to shut down the policy of adoptions here in Haiti by creating incentives for the Haitian government not to do that. This very week, UNICEF has gone on national television and put out news information claiming that adoptions essentially lead to child sex trafficking. Is that true? We're going to take a look at that outrageous claim, which is hindering the process of adoption, and speak to some of the individuals that have been working long and hard to put these children into the hands of loving Christian families for a very different perspective altogether. The January 12th earthquake left the city of Port-au-Prince and its environs in ruins. My team from Rescue Haiti's mission drove close to 2 hours from our point of origin, and all along the way we were witness to a destruction so severe that sometimes 80% of a community would be in ruins. Collapsed buildings, rubble, trash, and the ever-present sign of wandering humanity is a reminder of one of the greatest catastrophes in recorded history. With estimates as many as 1 million people homeless and living in plastic bags on the ground and in new squatters' villages, and with the possibility of rain turning them into mud villages where disease and vermin fester, the plight of these homeless is a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. In addition to the million-plus homeless people dominating the landscape, one thing is abundantly clear. Most of the tens of thousands of buildings affected by the earthquake have had little or no work done on them to recover bodies trapped deep inside. There simply are not enough machinery and crews, and the demolished Haitian government, which has lost 80% of its infrastructure, is not capable of bringing this mission to completion anytime in the near future. It may be months before even a quarter of the buildings are cleared of bodies, and when all is said and done, we may see a body count closer to 500,000. This is the backdrop for understanding Haiti's present orphan crisis. With hundreds of thousands of orphans in desperate need for help, and with so many Haitians hoping that Americans will adopt these children and get them out of the country, there's growing sentiment that the lives of Haiti's children are being held hostage to the political agenda of the United Nations through its organization, UNICEF. UNICEF opposes adoptions, and it's been redirecting the public's attention by raising charges that adoption could equal sex trafficking. But there's been no real evidence that has been presented that even one adoption by qualified American families has ever led to child trafficking. The net result of UNICEF's anti-adoption campaign and the capture and prosecution of the 10 American missionaries currently held captive in Port-au-Prince has led to a significant chilling effect on the rescue of children, and now children are dying because of it. The plight of Haiti's orphans is significant, and the doors need to be opened to help get them out and get them into American Christian homes. Pastor Gene Fritz runs the Haiti Christian Rescue Mission, an orphanage outreach to Haiti's orphans. He shared his belief that both the Haitian people and even many in the government were strongly supportive of American adoptions, but that other organizations were placing pressure to shut down the process.
I don't really think again is the government. There's someone behind that. They have an organization behind that who doesn't want that happen.
While I was visiting Pastor Fritz, I watched with my own eyes as orphans came in off the streets seeking refuge, and some Haitian parents, devastated by the loss of family members, homeless, hungry, and feeling little hope for a future, gave their children to the orphanage, hoping that they would be cared for and possibly adopted by an American family. While on the ground, I met with Elizabeth Gregg, the field hospital administrator for the University of Miami Medical Facility, who also spoke to me of this chilling effect. Since the American missionaries were arrested, only 3 children have been evacuated on private flights to hospitals back in the United States.
It's a tough process, and it's certainly been one that's been adjusted on a daily basis.
And since my interview with Miss Gregg, more children have died. She told the New York Times that, quote, at least 10 other children have died or become worse while waiting to be airlifted out of the country. Dozens of children are in critical need of care, and there's been no shortage of American hospitals or pilots willing to take them. But without the paperwork, itself seemingly impossible to procure, pilots are afraid that they'll be prosecuted for helping children. After all, in a world that's been turned upside down, where the government is in shambles, where hundreds of thousands of bodies remain unidentified, how do you prove that your parents are dead? In his interview with the New York Times, Dr. Lee Sanders, an American pediatrician at the airport field hospital, took the point a step further. He said this, for these kids, the kidnapping case isn't just a distraction. It's become the difference between life and death. I spoke with Dr. John Leiniger of Harvest International, who spent close to 2 decades working with Haitian orphans.
UNICEF right now is trying to raise the issue of child trafficking at this time because there is so much interest from American families and around the world, families desiring to adopt a child from Haiti because they've seen the devastation and they've seen the need of these children over here. Children sleeping in the mud, and that's in orphanages, sleeping in the mud uncovered in cold nights here, and it's pitiful to me.
Now, many reports are surfacing from within the American medical community on the ground in Haiti that the prosecution of these American missionaries and the numerous charges of sex trafficking, which are floating in the media, often generated by UNICEF, has created a chilling effect on the American volunteer community.
I think that the claims of sex trafficking and sexual abuse and slavery are simply outrageous. I think it's part of a greater agenda that they have to suppress the ability of loving families to get these children out.
The power of the media is amazing, and we all know it. And perception rules. And it's clear that UNICEF and other organizations are taking this moment to bring in celebrities and many other methods to try to push their point, which again has been totally unproven and is not substantiable. So all I can say is remember the Haitian child, thousands of them, tens of thousands of them, I don't know what the number is, that are sleeping every night in the cold, have no blankets, have no food, little water. It's here and it's now, and the crisis is going to escalate unless something is done now to get these children out of here.
The needs of Haiti's children is real, and the message of the United Nations is a wrong one. The same message that spread abortion and so-called family planning techniques around all over the world is the wrong message to be bringing to a place where the doors need to be flung wide and open with love for the children of this very hard-hit nation. So here's what we're asking for. We're calling for the prayers of Christians, that the hearts of the leaders would open up and the bureaucratic red tape would break down. We're hoping that the confusion which is being spread would be brought to a minimum, and we're hoping that governors in the United States of America, leaders, elected officials, would be working with the Haitian government to open up the doors, to let them know that these children will be taken care of, they will be processed in an appropriate way, and they'll be placed in the hands of loving families that will care for them.